تیرے زخموں کا ایک سبب میں ہوں، تیرے زخموں کا ایک سبب میں ہوں، میری ہر ضرب ضرب کے بدلے شامیوں نے تجھے رلانا ہے، اب تو زینب کلام کر مجھ سے، سب کے اشکوں کو پہنچنے والی تیرے آنسو کوئی نہ پہنچے گا، تیرے آنسو کوئی نہ پہنچے گا، میرے بیٹے تو دین بچائیں گے، تو نے زینب انہیں بچانا ہے، اب تو زینب کلام کر مجھ سے، جو خواتین آج کوفے میں تجھ سے قرآن پڑھنے آتی ہے، تجھ سے قرآن پڑھنے آتی ہے، سنگ ماریں گی کل یہی تجھ کو، باغی کہہ کر تجھے بلانا ہے، اب تو زینب کلام کر مجھ سے، تیری جانب جو ہاتھ بڑھتے ہیں دیکھتا ہوں کہ ان میں پتھر ہیں، دیکھتا ہوں کہ ان میں پتھر ہیں، جن میں پتھر نظر نہیں آئے، ان میں شعلے ہیں تازیانہ ہے، اب تو زینب کلام کر مجھ سے، آج بابا نے لوٹ جانا ہے، اب تو زینب کلام کر مجھ سے، صلوات بر محمد۔ This is in Punjabi, but hopefully with translation you can understand the meaning if you don't know. Salawat bar Muhammad. Tere baabe desa آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا تیرے بابے دسا آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا جیویں بولنا ای درباراں وچ نانے دے دین لئی تو مینوں بول کے وکھا زینب تیرے بابے دسا آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا شاہ آکھے دھینوں حسرت علی دیے دنیا تو جانے دیواری جی میں پڑھ دی سے تو حجرے وچ انج کول میرے بے کے قرآن تے سنا زینب تیرے بابے دسا آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا بازار ہون گے دربار ہون گے ہون گے قید خانے میری دھی تو نال بدکاراں دے انج بولنا اے ہر تھاں جی میں آکھے یا خدا زینب تیرے بابے دسا آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا وعدہ تیری دھی دا قیدا نبھان لے جاواں گی شام وچ میں ہر ایک دیوار تے خون دے نل لکھیا ہووے گا بابا توحید دی بقا زینب تیرے بابے دسا آخری نے آجا ہن دیر نہ لازینا جیویں بولنا ای درباراں وچ نانے دے دین لئی تو مینوں بول کے وکھا زینب تیرے بابے دسا صلوات پر محمد و آل محمد اللہم صلی علی محمد
Our sister Jazakallah, brother Shafkat Shah, for his and his family, Sehat and Salamti, please recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Before we get started with the speech, if I can request all brothers to please move up. Let's please get up, recite a loud salawat as we take a step forward. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Secondly, I'm being reminded by our volunteers outside that please keep young kids with you at all times, as these are the nights of Majalis, the nights of Amal. So please make sure young kids are accompanying an adult at all times. Jazakallah. جب گردنیں جھکی ہوں تو سر کاٹتے ہیں لوگ. جب گردنیں جھکی ہوں تو سر کاٹتے ہیں لوگ. جھکتا نہیں وہ سر جو سدا سرفراز ہو. سر کاٹنا علی کا تو ممکن ہی نہیں تھا. سر کاٹنا علی کا تو ممکن ہی نہیں تھا. قاتل بھی منتظر تھا کہ وقت نماز ہو. Now, without further ado, I would like to request Hujjatul Islam Maulana Amir Mukhtar Faizi to please come forward and address the Majlis. Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad Salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. واللعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الأولين والآخرين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه، فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. صلوات. Dear brothers and sisters in Iman, this is a Majlis of mourning, a Majlis of Sugwari and Matam. for a person that by any standards he was number one person in Muslim Ummah after the Prophet of Islam. A man who was larger than life, a man who was a hero, who was a champion, who was a role model, who was the greatest inspiration, the greatest mind which Islam had ever produced. A greatest man of character which Islam had ever produced, who lived his life from his childhood until his old age as a committed servant of Allah and as a committed supporter of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. A great believer, and actually not only a believer, not only a mu'min, but Amirul Mu'mineen, and not only a believer, a mu'min, but a man who was referred as Kulle Iman. That was his unique title, which Islam has not given to any individual, that who was referred as Kulle Iman. That was the honor and unique feature and honor of this champion of Islam, that he was not only a believer, he was leader of believers, and he was Kulle Iman. A man that his life journey starts with the journey of Islam, and both are under the wings of Prophet. One is referred as theory and other is referred as a practical aspect of Islam. Islam in theory was in Quran, and Islam in practice was Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. A man that no one can really do justice when he speaks about him, because he was larger than life. No one can comprehend his life and his contribution and his legacy, not only in one speech or series of 3 speeches or even in series of 10 speeches. His rich life, his rich experience, his legacy, his contribution, his teachings, his ideas, his examples, his sacrifices, his teachings, no one can really bring it all in just a few speeches. I was doing some research for these Majalis, and of course, when I look around and see how other scholars have written about him or how they have spoken about him, I always look at the speeches and writings of great scholar of our times, Marhum Shaheed Mutahhari. I am actually someone that who is greatly inspired by Shaheed Mutahhari. I never met him, but I consider him as my teacher because I studied his books over and over and over, and I'm very much impressed and impacted by him. So in one of his writings, he refers to this comprehensive life of Amirul Mu'mineen. He says that based on his research, he says he is the only Muslim in entire Ummah from the beginning until our times that who has attracted the largest number of believers, awliya, Sufiya, philosophers, scholars, poets, speakers, writers, authors, philosophers, and intellectuals. Matter of fact, some of our Sunni friends, and again, there's nothing wrong with that, this is their way of looking at it, and this is their way of expressing their love and their admiration for Imam Ali. I have a book in my library which says Imam Ali, the first Muslim intellectual. To us, Imam Ali is much more than intellectual. Being an intellectual is a great honor maybe for someone like me or someone like you, but this is so small title and so small thing to refer to a man like Imam Ali. But that's what he could come up with. And he says that among Muslims, the first intellectual was Imam Ali. A man who spoke about the details of theology, the details about our creed and Islamic worldview and the human philosophy and many things which later we came across. These topics were not the topics under discussion in his time. He was ahead of time and ahead of society. So much so that he spoke about some issues and some topics, and those issues and topics are included in his speeches and khutbahs in Nahjul Balagha. And those who had to criticize Nahjul Balagha and reject the point that these are truly sermons and speeches of Imam Ali, one of their criticism and critique of Nahjul Balagha was that actually the topics being discussed in this book were not the topics of his time. No man could speak on these topics in this way as he spoke. These discussions came much later in Muslim world when they translated philosophy from the Greek sources. These discussions came much later in Muslim world when they translated the Indian philosophy. These topics and these discussions came much later, when Muslim minds and Muslim philosophers and Muslim scholars had no eyes on all the materials from all over the world. How someone from the Arab society of his time had eyes on such topics. So then, instead of trying to understand the level of this man, the easy thing was to deny that these are not his speeches. Sayyid Razi and Sayyid Murtada and these people have written these things later, and they published in the name of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So a man who was ahead of his time, a man that literally these Muslims didn't deserve him, a man that who sat on the top of member and offered them his treasures of knowledge and intellect by saying, Saluni, Saluni, qabla an tafqiduni. Ask me anything which you want to ask before you lose me, before you miss me, before you don't find me. And ask me anything which you want to ask. And I know more about the heavens than the earth. I know more about the heavens. I can take you to the heavens. I can show you the heavens and the heavenly sciences and the heavenly facts. And I can help you to raise and rise from this earth to the heavens. But these people, what did they ask? Ya Ali, tell me how many hairs I have in my beard. These Baddus and Arabis, the whole life was the camel. And goats and sheep. And their whole hammo gham was to only take care of their stomach. What did they ask Ali? How many hairs do I have in my beard? Imam Ali said, what if I tell you there is any way for you to verify? What if I throw a figure? I throw a number. Do you have any way to verify whether my question is, whether my answer is right or wrong? Bewakoof aadmi. You don't know even how to ask the questions. Unfortunately, that was the meaning. This man which we are talking about is the greatest madloom of this ummah. Awwalo madloom, first madloom of this ummah. And the greatest madloom of this ummah. Yes, Janab Sayyida was mazloom. Imam Hussain was mazloom. But my brothers and sisters, everybody's mazloomiyat was result of the mazloomiyat of Ali ibn Abi Talib. If Ali was not mazloom, then Fatima was not going to be mazlooma. If it was not Ali that who was going to be mazloom, then Hussain was also not going to be mazloom. Zulm started with the life of Ali. A man And that is very difficult experience, my brothers and sisters. If someone in his life is privileged, and someone that who is being highly respected and honored, and well connected, and riding high, and then all of a sudden what happens? That person is totally discredited, cut off from everywhere, totally neglected, totally abandoned. You know, if this thing happens to anyone, people lose their mind. They go in deep depression. Most of celebrities in the end of their life become depressed. And they are always on the medicine, and sometimes they lose their life because of having that very high dose of the medicine, because at one point they are holding the whole stage and everyone is circling around them and taking their what you call autographs, making selfies and standing with them and inviting them everywhere and giving them that special treatment. And then when people leave them behind and go with the new celebrities, then go and do some research. What happens with those stars? In any area of life, politicians, art, showbiz, or in any other area. It's very difficult to experience that downfall for someone that who has been a star, a champion, a hero. Look at the life of Ali. Ali's life can be divided into two equal halves. Into two equal halves. His life from his birth until the time of death of Prophet. That is the part of life of Ali when Ali is in the best hands. Ali is under the wings of the best man on the earth. Ali is in lap of Muhammad. Ali is under the arms of Muhammad. Ali is on the shoulders of Muhammad. Ali is on the back of Muhammad. Ali is being admired by Muhammad. Ali is being encouraged and praised and supported and protected by Muhammad Mustafa. And Ali is being promoted. Ali is being hired. Ali is being given task after task, job after job. And Ali is succeeding in his tasks one after another. And Ali is actually the most successful man. Ali's whole life is the life of success. A successful man, a champion, a hero, someone that who is always on top, ahead of anybody, center of attention. And you know the reason why people had developed jealousy with Ali, that was because of his being center of attention. Everybody wanted to have some attention of the Prophet, and Prophet gave his attention to everyone. But Prophet knew who is who. And leaders, while they try to keep everybody under their umbrella and under their wings, but they know who needs more attention and who needs less attention, and whom to promote and whom to just keep them there wherever they are. Ali is center of attention. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing the verses in Quran, those are coming in the praise of Ali. Ayat after ayat, ayat after ayat, surah after surah. And then in Islamic history, whatever was taking place, event after event, event after event, Ali is the man of events. Ali is the man of the ceremonies. Ali is the man of those series. Ali is someone that who is distinguished. Ali is someone that who is unique, known, acknowledged. I'm just giving you some pointers. I will get into more details inshallah tomorrow, because tonight we have Amal also, and I want to have just this speech as introductory speech. Set some foundation, and tomorrow inshallah we will elaborate and bring more materials on that. So Ali is center of attention. He is there as a hero of Muslims, so much so that this line everyone knows, La Fatah illa Ali, La Saif illa Zulfikar. There is no man like Ali and there is no sword like Zulfikar. Salli ala Muhammad. It's not only Ali, but even his sword. If you cannot produce a sword like sword of Ali, how you can produce someone who can be like Ali himself? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. And then Ali is not a man of only a man of sword. Ali is a man of sword, but Ali is a man of pen. Ali is a man of pen. And no one from all the companions of Prophet. I don't want to degrade anyone or disrespect anyone, but I'm saying with full authority, no one can point out one companion out of those 150,000 companions that whose sword was like sword of Ali, or whose pen was like pen of Ali, or his speech was like speech of Ali, or his fight was like fight of Ali. A man that who had no match, no comparison, and no one was able to be compared with him. But then what happens? Here Prophet died, and here Ali starts now his downfall. All of a sudden, Ali becomes just like anybody else. Ali is being now neglected, abandoned, so much so that there is a line in the history that one day Janabe Sayyida Salamullah Alayha said to him, Ya Ali, I heard people don't say salam to you anymore. People don't say salam to you anymore. And he says, Oh Fatima, if it was only this much, I could take it. But the musibat is this, that I say salam to people and they don't respond to me. They don't respond to me. My brothers and sisters, these politics and the dirty politics and these governments, what they can do, what they are capable of doing, if you want to see, just see, look around and see what is happening in Pakistan in politics. Just a little example. What governments are capable of doing. how they can make zeros into heroes, and how they can turn the heroes into zeros. Governments. And this is what sometime now with my Sunni friends, scholars, we are in communication with one another, and sometime I approach them with this and I ask them that if you had difficulty to understand what had happened 1400 years ago, you can just see it with your own eyes. You can see governments, its agencies, its money, its treasury, its soldiers, its spies. What can they do with the opposition or with those with government takes them as their opponents? So my brothers and sisters, now after the death of Prophet, Ali is the target of all those tribal hatreds, the tribal hatreds. If you want to understand, you need to read the history of Arabs and Islam and try to understand the tribalism and how tribes were used to look at each other and how they were used to compete with one another and how they were used to act or react with one another. So the man who was the right hand of the Prophet and the choicest man for the Prophet for any task, whenever Prophet had a task and the difficult task, and when a man like Amr bin Abduwad would say that Hal min Mubarez, Hal min Mubarez, Hal min Mubarez, is there anyone that who can come and fight with me in the battle of Khandak? And then what was happening? This is the whole Muslim community. Everyone is sitting there. And Amr bin Abduwad is screaming there and yelling and saying, Hal min Mubarez. And then he challenges the Muslims. He says, you believe in paradise. No one is here ready to go to paradise. You believe that if you got killed, you will just straight go to paradise. No one is here interested in going to paradise. And then he says, if you kill me, again you will have the high rewards. Finally he says that I lost my voice. So much so I have yelled and screamed and called that come and fight me. One man. And every time he would say, Hal min Mubarez. And then Prophet would look to people and then he would say, Ali would stand up and would say, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah. Ya Rasulullah gave me permission, I will go and fight him. Amr bin Abduwad was the most famous warrior of Arabia. Biggest name in the Arab world. One man, according to certain narrations, equal to 1,000 men. And Ali is saying that, Ya Rasulullah, I am ready to go. So when Ali said, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah, Ana lahu ya Rasulallah, every time Rasulullah said, Ali, you sit down, let me give this honor and privilege and this chance to another Muslim brother also. There are so many these great and brave people sitting here. But every time when he would scream, Hal min Mubarez, they say the heads will go in the knees. People who were sitting, they would put their heads in knees, and Allama Ibn Abil Hadid, the Sunni scholar, in Sharh Nahjul Balagha, he writes, he says people were sitting like the birds are sitting on their head. That if they would raise their head, the bird would fly. Every time Ali says, I am for him. Finally, I don't have to go into the details. When nobody stood up, then Rasulullah said, Ali, no, this is the time, you go. Ali goes there. And when Ali goes there, Amr bin Abduwad, this was the way of Arabs. They would introduce each other. And they would tell, who am I? And normally they would recite some very powerful poetry in praise of themselves to scare the other person. Who am I? Lion, tiger, killer, the strongest man on the earth, the one that who can bring the heavens on the earth, meaning that kind of poetry. Amr bin Abduwad recited what he had to recite. And he had a poem where he recited that I am the one that Sammatni Ummi Marhaba. His name was, that was in the Khaybar. But here Amr bin Abduwad, he introduced himself and he referred to his, that bravery that I am equal to 1,000 soldiers or the fighters. Imam Ali, when introduced himself, Imam Ali introduced himself, and of course it was the way of Arabs that they would introduce their own name and the name of their father and tribe. So when Imam Ali said, Ana Ali ibn Abi Talib, I am Ali, son of Abu Talib. This Amr bin Abduwad, he knew what Ali had done in Badr and in Uhud. So he knew it. Maybe that was the real reason, but he brought a different reason. He said, your father was a good friend of mine. Your father was a good friend of mine, and I feel sorry to kill the son of my old friend. So I don't want to kill you. Young man, it's good for you to just go back. Send someone else. You know, sometimes when enemies use that kind of language, many of us, and particularly the young ones, they get deceived. They don't understand the mockery. They don't understand that this is your enemy. Enemy is trying to sugarcoat and deceive you by praising you. This is a trap. So he says, Ya Ali, I don't want to kill you. Imam Ali says, but I want to kill you. You don't want to kill me? I want to kill you. Except, I heard, you, when you come in the battlefield, you offer 3 conditions, 3 options. You give 3 options to your opponent. He says, yes. He says, my first request to you is that as you came, just go back. You go back and don't fight against us. He says, then what all these women which we have brought from Makkah, these cheerleaders, these women will start now chanting the songs against me, and they will have so much poetry, and I will get humiliated among all these women of Makkah and Quraysh. They will say, I was coward, I ran away, I turned my back to this young man. No, I cannot go back. Actually, this was the second option. The first option, what Imam Ali said, actually the first option is that you become Muslim. I offer you Islam. Instead of killing you, I will offer you this best gift of God. Be a Muslim. Come and join us. In a battlefield, Imam Ali is setting the example that before you shoot, before you fight, first you offer them Islam, the message of peace. He says, if I had to become Muslim, then why I had to come with all these people with this sword and all that? I cannot become Muslim. Then Imam Ali said that if you don't want to become Muslim, then just go back. Don't fight. If you say you are friend of my father, then just go back. He said, no, all these ladies will laugh at me. Sometimes this fear of ladies or appreciation of ladies and popularity, earning popularity in the ladies or in gents put us into so many wrong things also. So, he said, no, I cannot do that. Then Imam Ali says that I am by foot and you are riding on the horse. Then at least come down from the horse. So then we are equal, on equal footing. And then we fight. He says, yeah, this is something what I can do. This is something what I can do. So Amr bin Abdulwad, but then he says, I am amazed that somebody is asking me to come down and get closer to me and fight me. I never thought that someone will have that heart and that kind of jigger to ask me to come down and fight me. What kind of young man you are? Ali says, yeah, come down, we will fight. So he comes. And then this was a very traditional way of Arabs for fighting. They would not rush, they would give each other chance to strike first. So Amr bin Abdulwad asks Imam Ali that go ahead and you strike. I will hold and then I will strike later. Imam Ali says, no, a Muslim never strikes first. My religion, my deen doesn't allow me to strike first. You came all the way from Makkah to this point next to Medina to fight. You have to strike first. So Amr bin Abdulwad strikes. And this was his master stroke. But then what happens? These hands, the man who is known as hand of Allah, Yadullah, a man that who is known as the hand of Allah, he stops that strike of Amr bin Abdulwad and then he says, now get ready. And the strike of this hand of Allah is coming. And here Ali strikes, and in one strike, Amr bin Abdulwad is into two equal halves. One Arab poet has some poetry on that, but it is a long poem. He says Ali was so adil that even when he cuts into two equal pieces. Even in his fight, when he is fighting and he cuts him in equal two pieces. Amr bin Abdulwad is killed. And then what happens? Same day, his sister comes on the body of her brother to just see and maybe shed a few tears. When she comes, when she looks at the body of her brother, when she looks on that, these kind of warriors, they had very special kind of outfits, uniforms, to impress and scare the other people. So much embroidery, gold, so much those precious stones on this garb, and then on his sword. His sword was just not like any sword. It was a very, very expensive sword. Everything is just there. Even Imam Ali, when he was leaving his body, he straightened his arms, his legs, put him just there, and then he goes back. This lady, when she comes and she looks at, she says, I had come to cry, but there is no point for me to cry. I see my brother got killed by a gentleman. And if a gentleman gets killed by a gentleman, it's okay. It's okay. Men go in battlefields, they kill and they get killed. It's okay. But since he was killed by a gentleman who didn't disrespect his body, who didn't stole that expensive garments, who didn't steal or didn't take away his sword or his shield, and dealt with my brother so respectfully, he was really a man and a gentleman, and I have respect for him. Imam Ali is, my brothers and sisters, totally a unique individual. He set examples not only in one area of the life, but in every area of the life. In battlefields, in government office, as a teacher, as a guide, as a spiritual leader, as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a follower, as a leader. In every area, we will talk about that. He set the examples. My brothers and sisters, Muslim Ummah, it's not only me and you. If they would know who Ali was, the entire Muslim Ummah would be sitting in Soog and Sugwari and doing matam for Ali. This was the greatest treasure after the Prophet, which was there and Muslims have lost. They made the life of Ali miserable. More than 30 years, Ali lived a miserable life, a miserable life. What a bigger misery that a man like Ali should see his wife in that condition and in that situation which he saw Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. Do I or you have that much patience to see our wife going through that experience? He saw his Muhsin in blood. He saw his Zahra salamullah alayha with those wounds. And a man like Ali cried when he was washing Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha. A man like Ali couldn't hold himself from crying. For those 25 years, most difficult experience of the life of Ali, and more difficult came those 5 years of his time when he was in government. These 5 years were even more difficult. So much so that Ali had now started asking du'as that, oh my Allah, just take me back. I don't want to live anymore with these people. I don't want to live with these people anymore. Just take me back. And in one of those days and one of those nights was this night. Ali, they say this was now the practice of Ali, that every night he was guest of one of his sons or one of his daughters. For iftar and sahri, Ali would go one after another to visit his different sons and daughters, and spend that night with them and have iftar with them and have sahri with them. They say that at the time of iftar, his daughter Kulsum brought a piece of bread, a little bowl of milk, and a little bit salt. And when Ali looks at that, he says, "My daughter, have you ever seen your father at one time eating two different things? My daughter, take one of these two things away from this dastarkhan." She says, "Baba, you are an old man. You need to eat. You need to help yourself. See, your color has become so pale. You have got so weak, and I am your daughter. I am concerned. And please," Imam Ali says, "No." So finally what happens? She took away one thing. Imam Ali had that little iftar. They say the whole night Imam Ali spent in nawafil, in ibadat. Then he would come in the open. He would look at the sky and he would see, "I see all those signs which my Habib had told me. I hope this is the night. I hope this is the night of the promise which I have been waiting in my life." And then he would go back and he would pray. And then he would come back in the courtyard and he would see at the sky and he would say again the similar statements. And finally what happened? This is the time of Sahri, my brothers and sisters. Ali had a very brief Sahri and he gets ready to go to the masjid. And when he is going to the masjid, they say that at the house they had birds. मुर्गाबियाँ पाली हुई थी घर वालों ने. There were some birds. When Ali wants to leave, all these birds, they came and they made a circle around Imam Ali and they started now kind of creating some noise. And when they just surrounded Ali as if they are stopping Ali from going to the masjid, and they came to just turn away these birds, Imam Ali says, "No, let them do what they are doing. They are doing their no on me. They are doing their no. They know what is going to happen. Innahunna nawa'ih. These are doing no on me." So after that, Imam Ali makes a wasiyat. He says, "My daughter, these are birds. These are animals. They have jaan, they have soul. If you want to keep them, I am making you wasiyat. Take care of them. Feed them. Offer them food, offer them water on time, take care of them, and if you cannot take care of them, then release them. But don't take birds at home and abandon them." After making even the wasiyat for those birds, Imam Ali leaves the home and now he is coming to the masjid. He enters in the masjid and he goes to different people that who are sleeping there in the masjid. He goes and he wakes up them. He says, "Stand up. This is the time now that we are going to call adhan and the time of salat is coming in. So everybody should get up." And he goes and he wakes up this man, Ashkal Ashkiya, this Abdur Rahman ibn Muljam, who was lying down on his stomach. And in a way he was hiding his sword. And Imam Ali even taught him a masala and did Amr bil Maruf and Nahi anil Munkar and told him, "O man, in Islam, this is not a good way to sleep. When you sleep, never sleep on stomach. This is the way of shaitan to sleep. If you sleep, sleep on your back, or sleep on your right side, or sleep on your left side, but never sleep on your stomach." This is the Ali that if he sees even his qatil, he has to
correct him, and he has to teach him the mas'ala, and he has to help him. And after that, Imam Ali goes and calls azan. And my brothers and sisters, as Ali Akbar's azan was the last azan in the Karbala, here the Ali ibn Abi Talib is calling the last azan from the Guldasta azan of Masjid Kufa. Ali goes and calls azan, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And the voice of Ali reaches in the ears of Zainab and Kulsum and ladies and children at home, and everybody is listening the azan of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ali finishes azan, comes and does his nawafil, and then when the prayer starts, Ali goes in prayer and in his sajda, and this worst man who was hiding behind a pillar, he comes with his sword and he strikes in the head of Ali ibn Abi Talib, and here he strikes. Here a voice comes from heaven, qad tahaddamat arkanul huda, qad qutila aliyun al-murtada. Ali Murtada gets hurt and killed. qad tahaddamat Arkanul Huda wa qad qutila Aliyun al-Murtada. Azizane Girami, Ali is injured. Ali's head is now gushing and the blood is gushing out. Ali sits and looks back to Hasan-e-Mujtaba. Hasan-e-Mujtaba, you come forward and lead the prayer. Lead the prayer. The companions come forward. They want to help Ali. They say they spread a mat. They spread a mat and they put Ali on that mat like a dari, like a chatai. एक चटाई लाए, एक दरी लाए, अली को उसके ऊपर लिटा के, then they want to carry Ali to his home. Oh, Ali had come on his own foot, but now Ali is going back on that chatai or on that dari, and they are carrying Ali to home. Ayatollah Khamenei, whenever he recites the Masahib of Shahadat of Imam Ali, these are the lines which every time he recites, he say, Ali was so far okay when they put him on that dari or chatai or hasir, when he was in masjid or when he was in street, but as they reach close to the door, Ali said, put me down, put me down. I don't want to go in this way in my home. Oh, I have daughters, I have grandchildren, I don't want to go. मेरी बेटियां हैं घर पे, मेरे पोते और पोतियां हैं, मेरे नवासे और नवासियां हैं, और अगर मुझे इस हालत में देखेंगे तो वो बर्दाश्त न कर पाएंगे. मुझे रख दो, मैं अपने पैरों पे चल के जैसे कैसे भी हुआ मैं चल के अंदर जाऊंगा. अजीजो, अली को रख दिया गया जमीन पे. अली सहारा लेके खड़े हुए और चलते हुए अंदर जो दाखिल हुए, मगर रोने की आवाजें सहाबा की वो घर में पहुंच चुकी थी. ज़ैनब कुलसूम और बच्चे सहन में आ चुके थे. अली का घर के अंदर दाखिल होना था. बेटियां बाप के पांव पे हाथ रख के बैठ गई. बाबा आप आ गए, बाबा आइए, हम आपकी मरहम करें, आपकी पट्टी करें, बाबा घर आइए. अल्लाह लानतुल्लाहि अला कौम ज़ालिमीन व सयअलमुल लज़ीना ज़लमू अय्य मुनक़लबिन यनक़लिबून.
हैदर मौला, हैदर मौला, हैदर मौला, हैदर मौला. علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر
علی مولا 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 علی مولا
ایسی پڑھ
علی مولا علی مولا
علی مولا
حیدر سب مل کے جواب دیں سارے لوگ حیدر مولا حیدر مولا حیدر مولا حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا علی مولا علی مولا علی مولا علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
علی مولا
حیدر مولا
ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ہائے چھٹتا ہے اب تم سے مولا، ہائے چھٹتا ہے اب تم سے مولا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، سونی قبر رسول خدا ہے، گھر میں زہرا کے ماتم بپا ہے، سونی قبر رسول
خدا ہے گھر میں زہرا
کے ماتم بپا ہے، خاک اڑاتا ہے حیدر کا کنبا، خاک
آتا ہے حیدر کا کنبا،
روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے ہے
حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
ابن ملجم
جم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
آل احمد پہ آفت ہے آئی، بے کسوں پر یتیمی ہے چھائی، آل احمد پہ آفت ہے آئی،
بے کسوں پہ یتیمی ہے چھائی،
اٹھ گیا سر سے حیدر کا سایہ، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا،
روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
ابن
ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
گھر میں خالق کے حیدر کو مارا، جانشین پیمبر کو مارا، گھر میں
خالق کے حیدر کو مارا، جانشین پیمبر کو مارا،
ہائے سجدے میں سر ہے تمہارا، ہائے
سجدے میں سر ہے تمہارا،
روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن
ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
ابن ملجم
جم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
کیوں نہ روئے یہ غم کم نہیں ہے، شب یہ عاشور سے کم نہیں ہے، کیوں نہ روئے
یہ غم کم نہیں ہے، شب عاشور سے کم نہیں
ہے، خلد میں بھی یہ ماتم ہے برپا، خلد میں بھی یہ ماتم ہے برپا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے
حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
ابن
ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
دل ہلاتے ہیں زینب کے نالے، خاک اڑاتے ہیں سب کنبے والے، دل ہلاتے ہیں
زینب کے نالے، خاک اڑاتے ہیں سب
کنبے والے، اٹھ رہا ہے علی کا جنازہ، اٹھ رہا
ہے علی کا جنازہ،
روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو
مارا،
روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن ملجم نے حیدر
کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن
ہے، ہائے چھٹتا ہے اب تم سے مولا، ہائے
چھٹتا ہے اب تم سے
مولا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے، ابن
ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دار و قیامت کے دن ہے،
یا علی مولا،
حیدر مولا،
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 علی مولا۔
صلی علی محمد وعلی Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, ziyarat will be recited after the amal. So at this time, we will get ready for amal. If you do not need to refresh your wudu, kindly remain seated. We'll have the volunteers distribute turba and Quran for amal. So kindly, let's go ahead and get ready for amal. Jazakallah.